Hey, thank you so much for spending part of your lunch break with us. This is Panthers 360 right here on our WPTV YouTube page. Today we are joined by a very special guest, George Richards of Florida Hockey Now. George, I want to welcome you back in and thank you so much for spending some of your time with us. Let's go ahead and begin with the Winter Games. Obviously, we know with the tournament starting, it's officially beginning on Wednesday. We now know that Matthew Tkachuk named an alternate captain for Team USA. Just kind of give us your thoughts on the Panthers playing in this game and also what you could expect from Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a pretty big deal for the Florida Panthers, all 10 of them, not including, Bill Zito and Teddy Richards and all the other support staff. But Florida Panthers have 10 players, in Milan playing in these Olympics. And it's such a big deal for all of them, especially, you hear Matthew Tkachuk talk about what it means to play for Team USA. He's going to be on the same line with his younger brother Brady. He and Jack Eichel have been working together on the top line for Team USA at practice today. So that's pretty neat. I think it's really cool. Listen, they performed extremely well last year at the Four Nations tournament. They lost to Canada in the championship game. Matthew Tkachuk was injured and did not play in that championship game. But, everybody seems to think it's going to be, the United States versus Canada in the gold medal game. And I don't know, how else that, how that's not going to happen. Those are the two best teams in this tournament. Russia's not in this. Finland is very good. Sweden is very good. But, I think Team USA and Canada are going to battle it out. And you're going to have, 3 Canadians from the Panthers and Matthew Tkachuk on Team USA.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are hoping for that redo from what we saw in Four Nations. So only time will tell. But when the league resumes, the Panthers open back up against the Toronto Maple Leafs at home on the 26th. So 25 games left in the season. The Panthers are 8 points back of the second wild card spot. What do you see this team kind of doing for that to be a reality for them to be able to kind of go after that playoff push?
Well, they have to win, and they can't lose any games anymore. And being 8 points back with 25 games left would be an impossible deal for most teams. When you factor in that there's only 49 days to play those 25 games, Florida is going to have all these players coming back from the Olympics where, last year we saw Paul Maurice give guys like Sam Bennett and Matthew, well, not Matthew because he was hurt, but other guys time off after coming back from the Four Nations. If he does that, the Panthers are hamstrung in these final 25. They open with Toronto. They've got a back-to-back to kick things off against Toronto and Buffalo. Those are two teams Florida's directly chasing in the playoff race. If Florida can win both of those games in regulation, it really kickstart things. But if the Panthers lose one of those games in regulation, it's already getting off to the wrong step. They've probably got to win 17 or 18 of those final 25. It just seems like a big ask for these guys.
Right, and let's also talk about this. I mean, the trade deadline is something that we always have to watch. Flash back to last year, we get Brad Marchand at the trade deadline, like right at the buzzer. So March 6th, it's making its way quickly. Do you see this team kind of making any moves? And also on that point, let's say that things aren't going the way that they could and they don't see them making the playoffs. With that top 10 protected pick for the Blackhawks, now going to be possibly for the Panthers, do you think maybe they just try to get a first-round pick?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Listen, the Panthers are – what happened this year, regardless of how it ends, in the playoffs, out of the playoffs, does not affect their future plans. This team is built to win the Stanley Cup a few times. Between now and 2030, 2031, 2032. This team's window is wide open, regardless of what happens this year. Florida's not going to make wholesale changes. If they are, quote-unquote, sellers at the deadline, it's going to be periphery pieces. It's going to be, guys that maybe aren't in their future plans. Defenseman Jeff Petrie, for one. Maybe Jesper Boquist, a guy who's been scratched a few times. Maybe there's some interest in getting him, but the Florida Panthers are not getting rid of their future players. The guys that are in their future. They would be sellers and probably buyers at the same time. If Bill Zito think that there's an opportunity to get a player in here with term, or a player that they would get a head start on signing as a free agent for next year, maybe they pull a trigger on a deal like that where they're, hey, we're not really going for the playoffs, but we can add to our team next year and the years beyond. I could see Florida doing something like that.
George, a lot to talk about and a lot more, obviously, but that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for joining us. Of course, don't forget that you can catch a new Panthers 360 every Wednesday at 7:30 on South Florida's 9. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Panthers 360. Have a great rest of your day.